Hello. I just got off work. I am a bedside nurse in long-term care. Everybody that knows me knows that already. So made it through the day. No falls. No major issues. I should have already taken a shower. But when I got home, I sat in the car for like maybe 20 minutes. Because that's the first level of decompression. And then got in the house. I said I'm going to go straight in the shower. I started cleaning. And now I'm out here because if I go, how did I get outside? Oh, came outside to take out the garbage. And then ended up on this walk. When you get off, there's still so much stuff swimming in my head, and I'm grateful that I was able to be, I get to supervise on the weekends, every other weekend. And again, I'm grateful, very grateful for my job, because and for my career, a lot of people don't have that. And but 21 years of my 22 years I've been in long-term care, and people that haven't done it, they don't get it. People that don't do it, they don't get it. Even the people in the building with us nurses don't get it. Only those who can get it, get it. And now I've become recently, just a couple months ago, became a board certified nurse coach. That means board certified for holistic wellness. But I'm also a board certified functional nutrition practitioner. And it's just pretty much root cause medicine, lifestyle medicine, food as medicine. Because even me, who knows all that I know, I still deal with health issues daily. I'm really still, I work 7 to 3 right now. I think I don't even know, maybe it's 5 something. On August 1st, 2026, boy. And although I'm doing what I once prayed to be able to do, I'm a little tired. And I'm always talking about words are powerful, because it's true. They are. I'm just eager for my next steps. Because, like I said, words are powerful. I'm powerful. I am that I am, right? We all are. So I'm trying to be very intentional about my words, because I don't want any outcomes that I don't want. I want to be surprised and amazed by everything coming, if I want to plan it right. Because 2 years ago, around 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I said I need a break. I need time off. I need FMLA. I need to work on my business. 6 hours later, I stepped from maybe 2 steps up from a landing and landed on my right ankle and fractured my ankle. And I was at least 40 minutes away from home. I drove home, and it was a Saturday night, and I wasn't even gonna call out. I still was like, I can go to work. The person who I called, she'll tell you. In my mind, I was still gonna go to work. I was out of work for 3.5 months. It was rough, but amazing at the same time. It was what I wished for, but next time I'll leave out the part about a break. I'll just say time off. My cheeks are so rosy. I'm just amazed by the amount of information that we nurses at work have to hold on to, the requests, the interruptions, it doesn't matter what your plan is. It's always a different plan. It doesn't go the way you think it's supposed to go. And that's okay. I've made it through 100% of all my bad days. And there's been some very rough days. I work 7 to 3. I've walked out of work at 9 o'clock at night, not doing a double, still dealing with stuff from the day shift. Supervisor on your back, because they don't want you there. It's like you gotta do everything you gotta do. You gotta cross all your T's, dot all your I's. Don't make any mistakes. Answer all the call lights. Deal with the other caregivers and care partners, whatever we call them this week. You gotta be in 10 places at once. You gotta remember everything you told somebody you would do when you answered that call light. And I don't know about you guys and the other nurses, but I operate as I want to be the nurse I would want taking care of me. So when I walk in the room, I see everything, but you still don't see everything, even though I think I see everything. But you walk in the room, you survey the scene. I put myself in that patient, resident, put myself in their shoes, literally, and try to look around and see what they need. You got to do this all in a second because you got to go to the next person, and then the phone rings, and then you tell whoever's on the phone that, okay, I'll do that. Now you're distracted. If it's during med pass, even though they're not supposed to bother you, they still do. It's amazing the amount of interruptions. And I've worked every shift. My first year, I was on nights. I worked 312s. I worked in the hospital. On a med-surg orthopedic step-down. That was fun. Not. And it definitely wasn't fun when I got pregnant and was sick every single day for 9 months. I actually got fired from my first nursing job. Well, given the opportunity to get fired or quit. And I was young and dumber. And I quit. It was for something ridiculous. And again, I was a first year nurse. I was 8 months pregnant. And I almost threw up on that lady. But back then, I didn't think I didn't know how I was gonna make it. Instead, I worked in the hospital that first year, and it was rough. And I was the darkest nurse on the floor at night. Everybody else that I was working with, including my preceptor, was from somewhere else. And they spoke their language, and I tried to just stay out of the way. But anyway, I don't know why I went that way, but that was rough. I made it through that. Then, although I said I was never working with old people, I said it every day in school. I'm not working with old people. I'm not working with old people. Just like I said, I wasn't going to be a nurse. And I ended up working at a nursing home where my mother worked. And was there for a while. Then ended up at another nursing home in that company. Was there for 2 years. I worked on a traumatic brain injury unit for a year. That was exhausting and depressing. Then I got my 3rd year as a nurse, or maybe my 4th year. I got to be a supervisor for it was like 36-bed unit. I was scared to death, but the way they presented it to me, I kind of had to do it. Didn't want to do it, but I did it for a year. And then I moved on to another long-term care facility situation. And that's where I am now. But as life goes, things change. The only thing constant is change. And my job is expanding and growing, and soon the building that I work in isn't going to be there anymore. Not in the way it is today. So that means there's some mystery about the future, which is scary and exciting all at the same time. Because what it's doing is it's pushing me. It's going to push me to do what I'm already doing, what I've been taking my time doing, and that's working on my business more, working on helping people empower people to realize that you can, heal yourself. You can, most chronic illness that people walking around with, you can heal from those things. Most so-called disease, diabetes, heart disease, autoimmune conditions, which I have multiple of. A lot of them are more than treatable. They're reversible. And in most cases, preventable. If I knew what I knew in my 20s, when I started having all my issues, I wouldn't have gone through all the stuff that I've been through. And I spent all my 20s and 30s in doctor's offices, hospitals, taking pills, procedures, trying to figure out what was wrong with me. I had multiple digestive issues, lots of stuff. I'll get into this stuff later, but I had something wrong with every part of me, pretty much, from the top of my head to the bottom of my feet, every system. And no doctor could tell me what was going on. And I've been under general anesthesia, I always say no less than 17 times. I said I'm missing, my gallbladder's gone. I had a hysterectomy. I had 2 emergency situations where, yeah, it could have gone another way. And that's all, like, that was like about 10 years ago. Not even 10 years ago. I've also been 220 pounds. I am 5'3". That put me in like a size 18 women. You know what that means, what that might look like. And there's, again, no body shaming, no anything like that. But when I was that heavy, it wasn't even about what I looked like. I did not feel good. I was very, very sick. And most people around me didn't even know how sick I was. And again, like I said, I'm still dealing with things, because as I've learned to pay attention to, as I know that everything matters. Everything we do matters. Everything you eat, your body has to process. Everything you eat, your body has to figure out what to do with at the cellular level. And if it can't figure it out, or if it sees what you're eating as an enemy, as foreign, it attacks that part of you, whatever part of you it decides to attack. I now know that when I was in my 20s and I felt like I had a golf ball in my throat every day and I couldn't keep any food down, my thyroid was at that point inflamed. Like, I really literally felt sometimes like I had a golf ball or bigger right in my throat. And I was always nauseous. I had irritable bowel. I had Crohn's. I've had endometriosis. I have issues with my eyes, my vision, which thank goodness I can correct. I mean, it's corrected with my contacts. Right now, I'm dealing with some other stuff, but there's so many things. I said, this is just a little something I didn't plan on talking on here this long, but since I've told most of this, why not? Yeah, it's a lot. So I know I started off talking about nursing, and this has actually just been very kind of therapeutic, because I feel calmer now. I've gotten some of that, the day out of my head. Now once I go and shower, then I can really woosah. I'm grateful for the path that I've been on. Prior to me being a nurse, I was a teacher. I taught kindergarten for 5 years, and then the last year, my 6th year, I was teaching 1st and 2nd grade. And my last 3 years I was teaching, I was in nursing school full-time at night. And in the background, dealing with a whole bunch of health issues, a whole bunch of craziness in relationships. Wow. It's been a lot. So I say all that to say I was under a tremendous amount of stress, emotional and physical stress. And at that time I was at my sickest. And although it was rough, everything, pain. Oh, I didn't say I have something else with my bladder. I have something called interstitial cystitis, which took me 13 years to figure out myself. The symptoms are bladder pain, and pressure. It's like having to go to the bathroom with no bathroom around, and your bladder feels full to the point where it's gonna burst and you can't go. Oh, and then when you do get to a bathroom, you can't start to go. That's something called difficulty initiating stream. That was fun. I spent all my time, a lot of time in the bathroom. And sometimes I would only have to go drops, but that was the only way for me to get any pain relief. I tried all kinds of, I was on all kinds of medications, Elavil, Ditrol, Ditropan, Elmaron. I've had 5 procedures done on my bladder where I was asleep, and painful things that didn't even help. And because nobody could see what was going on or feel, nobody, people thought I was crazy because I was in the bathroom like all the time. I'm gonna say put